history skates down sometimes down the edge of a cliff, and it teeters one way and then it teeters the next way. And if it falls off the cliff on the left, it has one consequence. And if it falls off on the right, it has a radically different consequence. And the defeat of the Armada was one of the most fascinating sagas in modern history, and especially in the buildup of the events that led to it, because it could have turned out completely differently if any number of things that were fragile and teetering turned out differently. In order for it to happen the way it did, a whole lot of things had to come together and happen exactly as they did and when they did. And they almost didn't.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of different players in this. This is kind of a complicated time in our history. Who are all the players that were part of this?
There are a number of players in this, and a lot of people just focus on the battle itself, but there's a whole bunch of fascinating backdrops of threads that came forward in this. And let me first start in terms of the backdrop with discussing the schism itself, the great Catholic Protestant schism, because that's the underlying basis for the conflict between Spain and the Catholic world on the one hand, and England and the Netherlands and the Protestant world on the other hand. And the division of Christendom in Western Europe into two factions, the Catholic and the Protestant, was one of the great events in history. How did it come about? There have been many schisms in Christianity in this 2,000 years, and this left us the Eastern Orthodox Church, the Russian Orthodox Church, the Greek Orthodox, and others. But by far the biggest and most consequential was the split between the Protestants and the Catholics.